Without this situation in play, I'm worth 60, 70, easily.
8 NBA stars have openly admitted that their relationships didn't just distract them, they wrecked everything they had built. Fans now call it the Kardashian curse. James Harden once confessed that dating Khloe Kardashian was his biggest regret, saying the non-stop spotlight led to the worst season of his career. Rashad McCants went even further, claiming that the relationship cost him somewhere between $60 to $70 million in lost opportunities. Tristan Thompson spent years trapped in cheating scandals that followed him louder than his championship success. And one long-running rumor involving LeBron James' mother still has people wondering if it quietly altered NBA history. These aren't cheap tabloid headlines. These are players speaking for themselves, on podcasts and interviews in brutally honest moments, about how fame, relationships, and celebrity culture can derail careers worth hundreds of millions. People assume NBA careers end because of injuries, age, or fading talent. But sometimes the real damage comes from the chaos off the court, and the storm that follows when your private life becomes public entertainment. And no story represents this better than Lamar Odom. In 2009, Odom met Khloe Kardashian. Just 1 month later, they were married. The speed alone should have been a warning sign, but at the time Odom felt untouchable, fresh off championships with the Los Angeles Lakers and later winning 6th Man of the Year in 2011. Then their relationship became reality TV. Their show, Khloe and Lamar, put cameras into every corner of their lives. What started as a romance turned into something far darker, a front row seat to a man slowly unraveling. Reports of drug use surfaced. Allegations of infidelity followed. Their marriage began collapsing in front of millions. By 2013, Khloe filed for divorce, and Odom's career was already slipping away. The player who once averaged 14 points and 9 rebounds was out of the league by 2014, only 34 years old. What makes the story even more chilling is that Odom himself recently admitted the truth about what really happened behind the scenes.
I know why I still get a look, and the looks that I still get is due to a lot of it is because of the love that they gave me.
He's owning his mistakes now, but by the time the realization came, the fall had already happened. Lamar Odom, once a 2-time champion, had gone from NBA glory to a warning story. The pressure wasn't just basketball anymore. It was the overwhelming spotlight that came with marrying into America's most famous celebrity family, and it proved too much to manage. But Odom wasn't the only player who had to learn that lesson the hard way. James Harden believed he could handle it differently. In 2015, Harden met Khloe Kardashian at Kanye West's birthday party. At the time, everything in his career was peaking. He was coming off an MVP-level season, averaging 27 points a game, and leading the Houston Rockets as serious title contenders. 8 months later, the relationship was finished. And Harden didn't stay quiet about why. In an interview with Sports Illustrated, he admitted the constant attention drained him. The fame felt empty, the headlines felt unnecessary, and suddenly his private life was louder than his performance on the court. For a player who prefers to let his game do the talking, being plastered across gossip columns and cameras everywhere was the exact opposite of what he needed.
I just don't want to put up with people that you want to be monogamous, but then you're not monogamous. I'm not into, like I've always said, it's long distance, it's this or that. I've always said, we don't need to be monogamous. No, instead, forcing a relationship, let's be committed.
You wanted that or he wanted it?
He wanted that. It's literally everything on a platter. I'm not telling you I'm not gonna hang out with you. I just said, hey, listen, this is unfair. What? No, let's be committed. Let's do, okay. So I was like, great, this guy's in it for the long haul. Let's do it. Found out he wasn't.
Check the stats. During the 2015-16 season, right in the middle of James Harden's relationship with Khloe Kardashian, the Houston Rockets posted their worst regular season record of his entire 9-year run in Houston, 41-41. They didn't dominate. They didn't contend. They barely slipped into the playoffs. Harden later suggested the non-stop media circus wasn't just distracting for him, it spilled into the locker room. Focus dropped. Chemistry suffered. A team with championship expectations suddenly looked ordinary. All of it unfolding during 8 chaotic months in a relationship fueled by fame and headlines. The difference is Harden got out. He cut ties, disappeared from the gossip spotlight, and locked back in on basketball. 3 years later, he was holding the MVP trophy. But imagine if he hadn't walked away when he did. Just ask Rashad McCants. McCants dated Khloe back in 2008, Before Lamar Odom, before Harden, before anyone was even talking about a so-called Kardashian curse. If anything, he was the first example players point to now. And his career numbers paint the warning sign. McCants was the 14th overall pick in the 2005 draft, a national champion with University of North Carolina, and he averaged double digits as a rookie. Everything about his trajectory suggested he was climbing fast. Then came Khloe. 7 months of dating. And according to McCants himself, those 7 months changed everything.
The situation in play, I'm worth 60, 70, easily.
Let that number sink in. $70 million wiped out by a relationship that didn't even last a full year. According to McCants, the situation wasn't complicated. He says the experience speaks for itself.
The high-profile celebrity.
Yep.
And I was in a small market Minnesota team.
This was 2008. Social media was blowing up. Reality TV was turning everyday lives into public entertainment. And the NBA wasn't prepared for its players becoming part of that celebrity machine. Dating high-profile stars started to look like a warning sign. Executives saw it as distraction, lack of focus, even a threat to team culture. For Rashad McCants, the drop-off came fast. His second season shooting dipped to 35% from the field, and before long he was out of the league at just 24. A rise that once looked promising suddenly became a lesson young players still talk about. But the so-called curse didn't end with Khloe. Then came Tristan Thompson, and his story played out even more publicly. In 2016, Thompson began dating Khloe Kardashian while she was still legally tied to Lamar Odom. What followed was 6 years of headlines, controversy, and personal drama that often overshadowed his success with the Cleveland Cavaliers, including 2 trips to the finals and a championship run. The scandal started almost immediately. April 2018, just days before Khloe gave birth to their daughter. TMZ released footage allegedly showing Thompson with multiple women. February 2019, another explosion. He was reported kissing Jordan Woods, the best friend of Kylie Jenner. The fallout turned into a full-blown family feud, unfolding in real time across social media. And while the drama dominated headlines, his basketball numbers quietly slid. In 2017, Thompson was a key piece on a title-level team, averaging around 9 points and providing vital minutes. By 2022, he'd become a journeyman big, putting up roughly 6 points a game for the Sacramento Kings. Later, Thompson admitted that the relentless scrutiny and off-court noise took a real mental toll, and that it affected his ability to stay locked in on the game.
But I think she's totally fine, otherwise she wouldn't be hanging out with you 24/7.
6 years of headlines. 2 children together. Millions reportedly drained in legal battles and fallout. Tristan Thompson finally separated from Khloe Kardashian in 2022, but the damage to his image lingered. The player once known as a reliable championship contributor slowly faded into the background of the league. Another career, many fans argue, swallowed by the chaos surrounding that famous family. And Khloe wasn't the only sister linked to NBA turbulence. Kendall Jenner's dating history has often read like a list of championship what-ifs. First came Ben Simmons. In 2018, he was the reigning Rookie of the Year, rising fast while dating one of the world's most recognizable supermodels. The Philadelphia 76ers looked loaded with young talent and championship potential. Then the 2019 playoffs happened. Game 7 against the Toronto Raptors became the turning point. Simmons passed up an open dunk, struggled badly at the free throw line late, and the team's momentum collapsed. From that moment on, the confidence cracks only widened. By 2021, he sat out an entire season, demanded a trade, and openly battled mental hurdles tied to his shooting. In just 3 years, the future superstar narrative had flipped completely. Coincidence? Some fans point to the next name, Devin Booker. In 2020, Booker began dating Kendall. Around the same time, the Phoenix Suns built a powerhouse roster, drafting DeAndre Ayton and adding veteran leader Chris Paul. The window for a title suddenly swung wide open. The 2021 NBA Finals seemed to confirm it. Phoenix jumped to a 2-0 lead over the Milwaukee Bucks. A championship looked within reach. Then everything flipped. For straight losses, shooting struggles, momentum gone. In 2022, the Suns dominated again with the league's best record, only to collapse in the second round against the Dallas Mavericks, surrendering another 2-0 advantage as Booker's production cooled in the biggest moments. To critics, the pattern felt familiar. Dominant regular seasons followed by painful playoff exits. Another name often mentioned in that conversation is Blake Griffin. During his time seeing Kendall in 2017 while with the Los Angeles Clippers, He was suddenly traded mid-season to the Detroit Pistons. Injuries piled up, the trajectory shifted, and within a few years his prime had clearly faded. But the story turns darker here, because sometimes it isn't even about confirmed relationships. Sometimes it's just rumors. May 2010. Eastern Conference Semifinals. LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers are on the brink of elimination against the Boston Celtics. Over the final 3 games, LeBron shoots poorly and looks strangely disengaged, moving without his usual dominance or urgency. Then a shocking rumor spreads. Teammate Delonte West allegedly had an affair with LeBron's mother, Gloria James. West denied it and nothing was ever proven, but the story exploded across media and locker room gossip, adding another layer of distraction during one of the most critical series of LeBron's career.
You ain't sleeping with LeBron's mom? Nah, man. Would you do that?
But by then the damage was already done. LeBron James looked distracted, out of rhythm, nothing like the unstoppable force fans expected. The Cleveland Cavaliers fell in 6 games, and the season ended in disappointment. Just 2 months later came the earthquake. LeBron announced he was taking his talents to South Beach, joining the Miami Heat. Was the rumor ever proven? No. Did it still fracture trust, shake the locker room, and fuel the chaos surrounding Cleveland? Many believe it did. For Delonte West, the fallout was far worse. Across 8 NBA seasons, he earned around $16 million. But after the controversy and personal struggles piled up, his career unraveled. Reports later showed him battling bipolar disorder, substance abuse, depression, and anxiety. Images surfaced of West panhandling, moving between temporary rooms and struggling just to stay afloat. The league now takes mental health far more seriously, introducing support systems and programs for players. But for West, those changes came too late. That's the harsh reality of off-court drama in professional sports. Facts don't always decide the outcome. Perception does. Once the narrative spins out of control, careers can collapse whether the story is true or not. And sometimes the chaos isn't about celebrity dating at all. Sometimes it's even closer to home. October 2015. Matt Barnes gets a call from his twin sons. They tell him that Derek Fisher, Barnes's former Los Angeles Lakers teammate, is at Barnes's house with his estranged wife, Gloria Govan. Barnes doesn't hesitate. He drives 95 miles to confront Fisher in person. What happened next didn't just make headlines. It sent shockwaves through the league and changed the trajectory of both men's careers.
Guys where we kind of got up and I was trying to hit, but every time it was guys on my left arm, guys on my right arm pulling me back, so I never really...
Matt Barnes was suspended for 2 games and fined $35,000. Derek Fisher missed practice the very next day, and before the year was over he was out as head coach of the New York Knicks, finishing with a rough 40-96 record. Barnes has long believed the confrontation played a role in that dismissal. Another example in his view of how the league reacts when personal drama spills into team business. The twist? Fisher and Gloria Govan eventually married, while Barnes moved on with his life. Still, one heated night and a rush of emotion left both men dealing with consequences that lingered far beyond the moment. It highlights a recurring theme in professional sports. Even elite athletes can be undone by personal impulses and emotional decisions. No one embodied that lesson more chaotically than Dennis Rodman. In November 1998, fresh off securing his 5th NBA championship, Rodman made headlines again, this time in Las Vegas, where he married Carmen Electra. The wedding shocked fans. 9 days later, he filed for an annulment.
I don't know nobody that ain't stole from me. Everybody except for my kids.
Dennis Rodman's collapse wasn't just tabloid noise, it had real financial consequences. His agent, Dwight Manley, was negotiating a $7 million move to the Los Angeles Lakers. But Rodman stopped returning calls, refused to sign off, and seemed completely consumed by the chaos in his personal life. Eventually, Manley walked away as his agent. The Lakers' deal died, and with it, Rodman's remaining NBA future. $7 million vanished, all because he couldn't keep his life steady for more than a week of marriage. The moment was later immortalized in The Last Dance, watched by millions worldwide. The series showed Rodman's infamous 48-hour Las Vegas escape during the 1998 season, with Carmen Electra hiding in embarrassment when Michael Jordan arrived to drag his teammate back. Even Jordan, the ultimate competitor, understood that off-court drama was poisoning team chemistry. But the so-called Kardashian effect actually started earlier than many remember. In August 2011, Kim Kardashian married